In video R1 we're going to look at the basics of area and perimeter, starting with simple rectangles. Here are a couple of rectangles, they're identical. We're going to look at perimeter on the left and area on the right. The perimeter is the distance around the outside. If this was a picture and you were to stick ribbon around the outside of it, you'd need to know how much ribbon to stick down. So for that, you need to know the length, which is 6 centimetres, and the width, which is 4 centimetres. You'd need another 6 centimetres of ribbon along the bottom and another 4 centimetres of ribbon around the side. There are 3 different ways of calculating using these measurements. First of all, pick a starting point and count your way around. There, then down, then along, and then back up again, giving us a sum of 6 add 4 add 6 add 4, which would give us 20 centimetres. Notice it's a linear length because you'd measure it with a ruler. It's not an area in square centimetres. Another way to do it, some people like to, let's see if I can just change the colour. You can take the length and double it, which would give you 12, and then you can take the width and double it, which will give you 8, and that will give you 20 centimetres altogether. Same measurement, different method. If I change the colour again, let's go for a bright orange. Some people prefer to look at just this corner of the shape, and they say, well, the length and the width adds up to 10, and then I've got the same length and the width going along there, so all I have to do is double that measurement to give me 20 centimetres. Whichever way you choose will give you the same answer if you're careful. If you're looking at a slightly bigger scale, with something like metres, you might use this to measure the skirting board length that you need to buy to go around the outside of a room. Moving on to area. Area is slightly different. If we're talking about the picture scenario where we wanted to stick ribbon around the outside, in this case it might be the amount of space inside that ribbon. So area is the amount of space. It's normally measured in small cubes called square, small squares called square centimetres. If you want to work out how many of those square centimetres fit inside your picture, first of all you will need to know your length, as you did before, which in this situation is 6 centimetres, and your width, which is 4 centimetres. For your area, you multiply your length times your width. So here we'd have 6 times 4, which gives us 24, and the unit would be centimetres squared because they're small square centimetres. In a larger scale scenario where you're talking about the room, where we were talking about the skirting board here, this would be the amount of carpet that you would have to buy. So here's a couple of examples. On these examples we have a length of 6 and we have a width of 2. So if it's in centimetres, our perimeter would be 6 add 2 add 6 add 2, which would give us 16 centimetres altogether. If we looked at our area, we would need 6 times 2, which gives us 12 centimetres squared. This one here was 7 long and 3 wide. So for the perimeter, it would be 7 add 3 add 7 add 3, which will give you 20 centimetres. For the area, it would just be 7 times 3, which is 21 centimetres squared. 2 more examples here, which have been laid out in a slightly more complex way. Here, you're told that the length of this rectangle is 7 centimetres, but you're not told the width. You are, however, told that the area is 28 centimetres squared. So to work out the area, you had to do the length times the width. Now you know the length is 7, you don't know the width. So 28 is your area, and that equals 7 times a mystery number. The mystery number that goes in there would be 4. So your width is 4. Working it backwards, 4 times 7 makes 28. We're doing the inverse there. In the bottom one, this is a slightly more complex one. You're told that the length is 12 and you're told that the perimeter this time is 34. So we know that this is 12. If it's a rectangle, the other length must be 12. So altogether, in those 2 measurements, we have used 24 centimetres up already. If we know the total perimeter is 34 centimetres and we take away that 24, we've got 10 centimetres left which we have to share evenly between that side and that side. So our width would be 5 centimetres because you divide by 2.